Hi students, I just wanted to make a brief video talking about citing sources in your speech. Today I'm going to talk about two ways to cite sources. First, how to cite a source in your preparation outline, and then second, how to cite a source verbally during your speech. Both are important. So first, when you're doing research on a speech and you're arranging your content into an outline, whenever you use information that you got from an outside source, meaning you didn't come up with that information, you need to cite the name of that source. And so within the outline, you can do that by typing something like, according to American Heart Association, we should eat 3 to 5 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. And so you type that into your outline. That's one way to acknowledge a source. Or if you just want to put the information and then in parentheses on your outline put American Heart Association, that's also acceptable. So that's in your outline. At the end of your outline, you need to have a list of the works that you have cited within that document. This is also known as a works cited list or a bibliography list, same thing. So in this class, you have a choice as to what writing style you can use. You can use the MLA style or the APA style. What's the difference? Well, all of these different writing styles, and there are many more, basically are just the writing styles of certain groups. And so MLA, or Modern Language Association, is a group of people, generally academics, that study language, literature, and English. And so all of these English majors are using MLA style writing. So when they go to conferences and present their papers, or when they get their papers published in academic journals, the writing style is consistent. It's just a consistency. APA style, or the American Psychological Association, is the writing style shared by social scientists. And so academics or scholars in the field of sociology or psychology or communication, which is the field that I'm in. And so you can choose between MLA or APA style for this class. So, okay, you decide, I'll just pick one, now what? And so what you want to do is, first of all, let's just see what happens when we Google MLA. The very first site that comes up is from Purdue University. The Purdue OWL has produced a really great set of free resources for anybody to access. And so if you want to know how to cite an electronic source, for instance, you can click on this and it will teach you what to do. So if you're going to cite an entire website, it'll look something like this. And so you want the editor, author, or compiler name, the name of the site, the version number or name of the institution, the sponsor or the publisher, the date the resource was created, if it's available, the URL, and then the date that you accessed it. And so it will end up looking something like this, and you can see which words are regular and which are italicized, and so it's just a little code for here's where I got this information from, and you put this information in a certain order. It's actually really easy to do, but it can be tedious at times. And so I like to use a little shortcut. There are several citation generators online. One of my favorites is bibme.org. So bibme.org will allow you for free to create a citation or generate a citation. So let's choose MLA if that's what you want to use. And then it's going to ask you what kind of source that you're citing. Well, I found a newspaper article, but it's on a website. It's on the New York Times website about a gentleman, Wes Craven, who was a huge influence in the horror movie genre. And so let's say that I'm using this as a topic for my speech, and I'm going to cite some information from this particular article. In order to do that effectively, I need to put this information in my works cited so I can show that I'm correctly citing information in the outline. So what I could do is I could copy this address of this particular website, click over to bibme.org, and then it's already chosen on website. Go ahead and paste this particular website in. Move the screen down so you can see. And searching for it. There it is. That's the right article. We'll select that. And here's what they found. They found all of this information. So I'm going to go to the final step. Now at this point, I may have to put in some information that the generator missed, or I may have to correct some information. So I want to double check. And so here's the article title. That's correct. Here are the two authors for the article. That's correct. Here's the website title and the publisher. It's the same entity. And then here's when the article was published. And so there's no blanks, and so I'm going to hit Create Citation. If there were some blanks, I would try to go in and find that information that was left blank. If I could not find it, I would just leave it blank. And so here is the MLA works cited for this particular article. Just copy this, open up our Word document, start left justify, and then paste. Now, are we done at this point? No, because you may notice that this looks a little different than this. You'll notice that MLA format should be double-spaced, and so we'll go back to our paper, and I'll just double-space that. So there we go. So now it's double-spaced. You may also notice, if we go back to our sample, that in MLA format, and we can see this in the Purdue OWL sample as well, there's a left justified first line. So that means the first line goes all the way over to the starting point of the cursor, and then every subsequent line is indented. And so it's called a hanging indentation. And so I'm just going to hit Enter and Tab, and then Tab, and now that's much better. So we just want to double check that all of this information is correct. This is correct. The New York Times should be italicized in this instance because it's the name of the publisher. That's correct. And everything else looks good. So now this is a proper works cited. So that could be a shortcut for you in order to generate your works cited a little bit faster using bibme.org. I think there's one called citationmachine.net. There's several others. Just don't use one that you have to pay for. There's plenty of free ones out there, but you always want to double check the end result and don't just go with what you copied over from that site. And so still look at the Purdue OWL site as your go-to reference point. All right, so that's how to cite in a works cited page at the end of your outline, citing sources. So let's switch gears and talk about citing sources out loud during a speech. So to give you more credibility as a speaker, it's always good to prove to your audience that you've got good, credible information to share with them. And so anytime we can get good information from outside sources who are also credible, that'll up our own credibility. And so what you want to do is find information, of course, from credible sources, and there's a great discussion on this, I think, in Chapter 11 and probably in Chapter 12 as well. But you want to be saying things in your speech, citing sources out loud, verbally, in a way that gives the audience direct knowledge of where this information came from. And so you will say things like, my previous example, according to the American Heart Association, people should eat between 3 to 5 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. Or it could sound like, ESPN.com reports that Kevin Durant was the highest earning basketball player, whatever, right? And so you need to say the name of the source and then the information you got it from, all at the same time. One thing I do not want you to do is to say your sources at the end of your speech. Please avoid this, because I have no way of knowing what information you told during the speech is tied to that source. So that's something to consider. All right, so today we looked at how to cite sources in your outline, mainly looking at a works cited and how to develop that, and then also how to cite sources verbally during your speech. That's very important to do. So if you have any questions about this, just let me know. But now you should have a better understanding of source citation with a speech assignment. Thanks.